I will say this, chat, and I need you to internalize this. I'm about to say something that may hit some people in the audience. All right? I'm about to say something that may hit some of you. The problem with politics is not too many stupid people vote. That's not the problem with politics. That is a soy Reddit opinion. If you find yourself thinking that, oh, it's because there's just too many stupid people voting. We need to stop the stupid people from voting. That is soy. That is Reddit. Stop. The problem that we have in this society is that it's anti-democratic. But Mike, isn't there all these stupid conservatives? Yes, they absolutely is. There absolutely is a ton of stupid conservatives out there. But the reason why we don't have all the good stuff that they have in Western Europe and even more is not because we have too many stupids voting. It's because our system is undemocratic. Not enough stupid people are voting. Not enough average intelligent people are voting. And when they do vote, they're voting into a first past the post constitutional system specifically designed to undermine the votes of the masses. Why does Delaware and Wyoming have as many representatives in the Senate as California? There is no possible justification for that. None whatsoever. There is no way to do it. None. If you believe in the concept of democracy, even if you don't believe in the concept of democracy, a person born in California can move to Delaware and then suddenly they're wiser politically because they physically have a geography change? Does that make even a lick of sense? It's fucking stupid and indefensible. There isn't some sort of class of persons that is Wyomingites. I don't know how you even fucking say citizen of Wyoming. That suddenly they gain some sort of wisdom. It's stupid. And there are people who believe that there's a certain type of class of people that are better than a certain other type of class of people are conservative. And they want to go back to white men with property controlling their slaves and their chattel and the lesser classes. They want to go back to a neo-feudalist model where they control society for their benefit. Now, a lot of the people that vote for conservative politicians are objectively stupid in the sense that they're voting against their own interests. They're voting for politicians who are going to make their lives worse off because they believed propaganda or there's some sort of social conditions. But don't be soy, don't be Reddit, and be like, there's stupid people voting. If we only stop the stupid people from voting, that's idiotic. You're the stupid person. Damn, that's cool. By the way, if you want to understand the absolute shit show that is LA right now, here's a candidate running on you shouldn't have to live in a bus if you have a doctorate. Biden on new Jacobin cover. Build back never. Oh, fucking based. Jacobin! You got. By the way, chat, if you want to subscribe to Jacobin magazine and get this beautiful cover in the form of a magazine in your mailbox, ! Jacobin, for just $10 a year, you can get access to all the previous editions in digital format. You get 4 printed editions sent to you. They're a quarterly magazine, so once every season. It's union printed. It's beautiful. You get 5 DRM free downloads of each issue. It's an incredible offer. You're never going to get a better offer for a magazine of this quality. If you want another little piece of socialist agitprop, Jacobin magazine. Do they have that in poster form? I don't know. I'm literally going to frame it. It looks great IRL and so thick. Hell yeah, dude. They lose so much money on that deal they give Central Committee members. Get in before it's gone, chat? Yeah, I'm sure they lose a lot of money. Honestly. But they're trying to build their, they're trying to build a community, They're trying to build up their subscription numbers, so it's pretty important. Here's a little bit of piece of candy from Robert Reich talking about billionaires in the Democratic Party. Be right back.
It's striking to me that one of the things that you do when you're an opposition party is you run a kind of referendum on how things are going. And this is not rocket science. If you're Republicans, inflation's 8%. And there's lots of things about American life that feel disturbed and sort of strange and not settled, right? Easy enough. But it also seems to me it's incumbent both on the media and Democrats to say, what would you do about it? What are you going to do? And to the extent they can get away with not answering it, they're going to be benefited. And to the extent they have to answer it, I think that would be better for voters and probably in the end better for the Democratic Party.
Well, I agree with you, Chris. I mean, it's interesting. We have one party, the Republican Party right now, that is using the cultural grievances as a major distraction from the fact that they have no agenda. I mean, as you played that clip of Mitch McConnell, what are you going to do if you actually get control of Congress? I just don't know. There's nothing there. There's no there. I think the real problem is the Republican Party is great at attacks. They have perfected the art of attacking, but they are not a governing party. They don't know how to come up with policies, and that's bad for the country. It's bad for Democrats, and it is also a problem with regard to average working people who, kitchen table economics. They need better jobs. They need childcare. They need lower prescription drug pricing. They need all sorts of things. Democrats are actually passing this stuff or trying to pass it, and Republicans are saying no.
Well, and the trying, I think, is part of the problem, too, right? I mean, to the extent that you can't pass big parts of your agenda, that's a harder thing to run on when you can't. Although I should note, one of the amazing ironies here is that the big thing they did pass, right, the American Rescue Plan, you've got this bizarre situation, right? Every Republican votes against it in the U.S. Senate. Every Democrat votes for it. It gave all this money to the states who are now using the largesse from the federal government to dole out goodies while attacking the Democrats, right? So this is the Orlando Sentinel talking about Ron DeSantis, who's going around to events, cutting checks. We're proud we didn't do like Washington and spent money like a drunken sailor when all of a sudden you ended up all these problems, he said at a recent event in Trenton, where he doled out federally funded grants. DeSantis never mentions the largesse he's sharing comes from Washington. Instead, he attributes the money to Florida's strong economy. Democrats in this position are the worst of both worlds, which is the policy success they voted for that Republicans are opposed, local Republicans get to claim credit for.
And this is not a new phenomenon, Chris. This has been going on for years. It's just more of it right now. I mean, back in 1936, Franklin D. Roosevelt was opposed by, the rich and the powerful and Republicans. And he said, I welcome their hatred. I welcome their hatred, because that hatred made it clear to the public that he was on their side. I think the Democrats ought to be very clear about this. I welcome Elon Musk's moving to the Republican Party. We welcome the fact that Jeff Bezos is attacking the president. I mean, the billionaires are on the side of billionaires, and the Democrats are on the side of average working people and poor people and people who need some help and people who actually are working harder than ever. As CEO pay goes through the roof, as corporate profits hit record levels, as prices go up. Why? You tell me why corporations that have never had in 70 years as profitable a run as they have right now, why are they raising prices? Well, they don't have to raise prices. And that's what Democrats ought to be talking about.
I will say this. Instead of just yelling at billionaires not to raise prices, how about we take back production? This is why I call myself a sewer socialist or a supply side socialist, because I believe that the superior technique of dealing with something like inflation is to provide increased supply from a nationalized organization of the economy. That is the way I would do it. All right, wait, what's happening? All right, let's make fun of Lauren Boebert.
I want to give you a tale.
Lauren Boebert getting made fun of by AOC is pretty funny.
Of two sort of avatars for their side. AOC for the progressive left in the House, and Lauren Boebert on the whatever that's supposed to be on the right, addressing in real time the violence that we saw in Uvalde, the continuing spree of mass shootings and school-based mass shootings. Just this year alone, Lauren Boebert very helpfully responded, as we covered yesterday in the show, by tweeting out, "You cannot legislate away evil," which is not a thing that anyone was asking to do. It is 100% an abdication of your actual responsibilities. It's your job to legislate at all, not in the area of
like the insanity of American politicians. Just never, like there is no depth for the patheticness of them. Oh, a bunch of children get murdered. I guess I just do nothing? How does your mind work? My God. When they say save us money, they talk about oil companies or any company's total loss of production, assuming those same companies will pass along the savings to you, as we know corporations usually do. So why switch? They could just sell you a more expensive plan. I think what they're talking about, if you're talking about the renewable energy increase, is that people won't be dying from all the pollution in the air, which costs billions of dollars a year to like care for, treat, and deal with.
Of evil. Now, at the time, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez responded by saying, why even be in Congress if you don't believe in doing your job? Just quit and let someone who actually gives a damn do it, instead of acting like a useless piece of furniture when babies are shot with AR-15s that we let teen boys impulse buy before they can legally have a beer. Now, obviously, Lauren Boebert is not going to address the ridiculous fact that we let
welcome back to the program, Leah
have
Lippman.
guns like this. She's going to move right past that, and she's going to respond saying, "Miss, defund the police. Gun-free zones have proven to be deadly. Let me know when you're ready to do your job and effectively."
Gun-free zones have been proven to be deadly. Incredibly small brain. That's why the NRA convention is a gun-free zone, right, idiot? If everybody having a gun is good, why don't we let people have a gun around the president? Let Donald Trump get a gun. He can defend himself. Why does he need a Secret Service? Just give him a fucking gun. It'd be so funny to watch Donald Trump accidentally mishandle a gun and shoot himself in a video game.
Protect our schools with armed security. Let's meet and solve.
They did, you fucking idiot. And 19 cops hid. Does she not know the story? 19 police officers hid for over an hour while desperate 8-year-olds called on their cell phone over and over and over again, talking about how their friends were bleeding to death. What the fuck are you talking about? Armed security. What does that even mean? So they can run and hide?
This. And since then, AOC has responded substantively to those points, pointing out that there were armed guards at this particular shooting, at others too, at schools. But at this shooting, there were armed guards, there were police. The school district in Uvalde has its own police department, actually. 40% of the city's budget, nearly half of their entire budget goes to the police. Oh, they've been doing training. It was hardened, as they say they want these schools to be, training for active shooters. They had the defense, they had the training, they had the preparation, and none of that stuff.
They had level 4 body armor, which is something I don't think he's going to cover. They had level 4 body armor. We talked about it yesterday in Uvalde. Well, let's take a look at this. Uvalde Police Department on August 1st, 2018. The Uvalde Police Department is pleased to announce that we have completed the process and been awarded grant funds through the Office of the Governor to outfit every Uvalde police officer with level 4 body armor. This important piece of legislation provided funding to equip police officers with body armor rated to stop rifle rounds. In 2017, Senate Bill 12 was passed into law. The $23 million of rifle-resistant body armor grants were awarded to 453 jurisdictions around the state. Thanks goes out to all those who supported Senate Bill 12 and everyone who supports those who work to keep us safe. Hashtag Blue Lives Matter. Photo. Uvalde police officers proudly wear their newly issued level 4 body armor. That is rifle-resistant body armor. I falsely believe they didn't even have that. I was wrong. I need to make a correction. A 16,000 population American town, every single one of their police officers has rifle-resistant body armor. So what are they scared of? Oh, we're so scared he has a rifle. You have rifle-resistant body armor on. Ooh, let him kill another 90 children, chat. Holy fucking hell. I'm not saying that body armor makes you immune to bullets and you're God, but Jesus Christ. There were 19 cops outside the hallway. Holy fucking Christ. Level 4, designed to stop rifle bullets. Every cop in Uvalde had level 4 rifle certified body armor. Everyone. They had every fucking technique. They had all the training, all the weapons, all the armor, everything you can have, and they still fucking hid and failed. And it's not just because they're cowards, which they certainly are. It's because nobody wants to run into a room with a rifle pointing at the fucking door. Nobody wants to do that. But Mike, they was wild. 18 versus an 18-year-old who bought the gun a week ago. This isn't exactly a fucking Green Beret in there. Like,
so many people from being killed. And none of that got Lauren Boebert to actually think for a split second about what she was advocating for, saying that this is a gun-free zone. It wasn't. They had guards. But countries all around the world, Brett, have gun-free zone schools. Sweden, Norway, Spain, Madagascar, these are gun-free zones, and yet they're not the sites of mass shootings on a weekly basis.
Gun-free zones work.
I forgot to tell everyone that my class warfare game from Jacob was taken from my porch on delivery, but whoever took it looked inside and didn't want it. Feels bad, man.
Or gun-free zones don't work when someone has a gun in them and shoots people with it.
Sounds like a fun game,
right?
I think
if gun-free
I
zones don't work, well, then someone is going to kill Trump at his NRA speech, because that is a gun-free zone. That is a story that's going around. The only place in Texas where you can't bring a gun is to Trump's speech. According to her logic, that puts Trump in real danger. And when called out for that, she'd probably say, yeah, sure, it's probably but it's okay because people hate Donald Trump. But like when she says you can't legislate away evil, that on its face is a horrible, logical disaster for her, because she declares everything evil and she tries to legislate that away. Critical race theory, evil. Let's legislate it away.
Yep.
Abortion,
any kind of injustice that we point out, they point out, they want to legislate, and they try to pass laws, and they do everywhere. Voting, they think, is evil. They want to legislate it away. So that doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
And what you do is you try to make things illegal, so there are higher consequences and less likelihood that someone will be able to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's say that right now I wanted to get a rocket launcher. According to them, I can. It being illegal doesn't matter. If I want it, I can get it. How? I have some resources. I have a car. I could drive somewhere. I have some money. Can't get one. If I wanted a fully automatic AK-47, I have money. Why don't I just do it? Doesn't matter that it's illegal, right? Because that is the whole point. That is the entire point. And she doesn't have a response to any of this. No one's gonna ask her any tough questions. If they do, like in the Sky News interview,
illegal. Like you can buy an automatic weapon. It just has to be grandfathered in. You have to pay a $200 tax stamp. You have to go and get a background check. But it's such an pain in the ass hassle that only the most freakish of freak gun nuts do it, who are federal firearms licensed dealers. Or, like it's just not a thing that people do because it's too much of a pain in the ass and it costs too much.
She's just gonna flee. It's because she doesn't care about any of this. She's not actually interested in stopping these shootings. She doesn't put any thought to it. She's not losing sleep. Her heart doesn't break for the children of Uvalde. This is a political game to her. That's all it is.
Yeah, I mean, this is the person who sends out Christmas cards of her tiny little kids with giant assault weapons grinning.
She thinks it's cute.
So
it's
sad,
funny.
Man.
Anyway, look, she says we need more armed guards. As we've shown in this case, it didn't actually help. And by the way, studies have shown that in 197 instances of gun violence at US schools since 1999, SROs, who these officers are, intervened successfully in only 3 instances. And by the way, they found that at places that have SROs, there are more injuries when these shootings happen. I don't know exactly why that is, but that's what all of the evidence actually shows. The evidence is irrelevant because they're never going to engage with it. They will continue to call for things that literally existed at the site of the shooting they're responding to. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com.
You have an obligation to like, comment, and subscribe.